Mets Musings is an unofficial, independent podcast covering New York's National League Baseball team. It is not affiliated in any way with Major League Baseball or the New York Mets.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Mets Musings.
And hello and welcome to episode number 190 of Mets Musings. Got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. You're going to enjoy this show, I think. It's lots of stuff. Opening day, 2015. Almost here. 4 days away. 3 days to the first game, which will be in Chicago. But the Metsies open up on Monday, April 6th, 4 days away from today. And the excitement is starting to build. And they'll be coming home a week after that. But season is starting to get underway, and I couldn't be happy about it. And we waited all winter for this. This is what we strove for all winter, and it's almost here, and it's a great feeling because we've been shuffling and scuffling and trying to get our baseball fix somewhere, and now it is gonna be here, and I couldn't be more excited about that. And it's just a wonderful time of the year. And before we get started, let me remind you about Patreon. You can become a patron of the show for as little as $2 a month. And just go to that site, patreon.com/MetsMusings. And if you'd like to be a patron, sign up. Or you can go to MetsMusings.com, and on the right-hand side, there is a link to the Patreon site. You can just hit that. And one of the improvements already that we're trying to do is to change our web host to get more of a consistent numbers and to centralize all of our technical stuff behind the scenes. It will make it easier and hopefully make a better show for everybody, because it will be easier to do a show, and that's what we want to accomplish. So, that being said, let me wish all my Jewish listeners and Christian listeners a happy Passover and a very happy Easter. This week, tomorrow evening, as we record this on Thursday the 2nd, tomorrow evening is the beginning of Passover, and Sunday, of course, is Easter Sunday for the Christians, the Catholic world. So, happy greetings on both holidays to everyone. And let's get down to some Mets business here. There's still people complaining about Matt Harvey not pitching. So we've got somebody to address that on a voicemail, and it's my good pal Barry, my former co-host of Mets Musings, and Barry's going to chime in and give his 2 cents on the matter. And this was recorded before the Mets dealings that we'll get to a little bit occurred. So, but it's very relevant. So listen to Barry.
Hi, Gary. It's Barry, your former Mets Musings partner, checking in as I usually do at the start of a new baseball season. I will give you my Mets prognosis shortly, but first I want to weigh in on what I am calling March Madness 2015 version, but has nothing to do with college basketball and everything to do with the why isn't Matt Harvey pitching opening day madness continuing in the print, electronic, and social media. As you alluded to in episode 189, it is a sound business decision by the Mets ownership, to whom no Mets fan dislikes more than me, to have Harvey pitch the second home game to get an attendance bump. There is no downside to this move either, unless you go with the notion that it is an honor to pitch on opening day, which I doubt Matt Harvey cares about. He is probably just thrilled to be pitching at the start of the season, period. And any Mets fan, if they are being truly honest with themselves, would have signed up for Harvey pitching the third game of the season in a New York Minute if asked about it between the end of last season and before his first spring training appearance. Another wrinkle I heard over the weekend was that pitching Harvey in the second home game instead of the first is a risk because the second game is a night game. However, the way the Mets set up their rotation, his other early starts are all-day games, as weather permitting, of course. His scheduled first four starts, along with the second home game, are April 9th against Washington, the 4:25 game at Yankee Stadium, which starts at 4:05, and also the first Sunday home game on April 19th against the Marlins, which could, with Harvey pitching, easily be a sellout, again weather permitting, and his likely mound opponent that day will be Matt Latos. Though it is only spring training, I am concerned about the lack of depth at a proven lefty in the Mets bullpen, and also that the big two of Familia and Mejia at the end of the game are really getting hit hard so far. I am also not sold on Wilmer Flores as an everyday Major League shortstop, and now the Mets may be without Daniel Murphy for a significant amount of time. However, the superb starting pitching, even with the loss of Zach Wheeler and what appears to be a significantly improved offense, along with what shapes up as a very weak National League, gives Mets fans real hope and a very good shot for them to be playing, as my favorite owners say, meaningful games in September and October. Having said that, I am giving the 2015 Mets an 88-74 record, being right there for one of the two wildcard spots. And the Chicago Cubs, led by rookie phenom Chris Bryant, despite the fact that the team will, in their eyes, also make a sound business decision and probably keep him in the minds for the first couple of weeks, winning their first pennant in 70 years.
Well, Barry going with the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago Cubs to win their first pennant in 70 years. That's a little shocker. And I agree with him with the Matt Harvey situation. And as he said, there was some concern about lefties in the bullpen. But unless you've been living under a rock, and as I said, Barry recorded that before these deals were made, the Mets addressed that situation as they traded minor league right-hander Corey Mazzoni and a player to be named later to the Padres for left-handed reliever Alex Torres. Torres, 27, brings experience that it's been sorely lacking in the bullpen since Mets lefty Josh Edgin underwent season-ending Tommy John surgery. In 70 appearances with the Padres last season, Torres had a 3.33 ERA. He held left-handers to a 2.56 average, though he was more effective against righties who batted just 2.09 against him. So Sandy took care of that and did one step further. He then sent Matt Dendecker to the Washington Nationals in exchange for Jerry Blevins. Blevins, 31, was 2-3 with a 4.7 ERA and 66 strikeouts in 64 games for the Nationals last year. He is a lefty specialist. He stranded 31 of 35 inherited runners, notched 9 holes, and averaged 10.4 strikeouts per 9 innings last year. So, Dendecker, a promising young outfield, but he's 27. He hit 250 with 7 RBI in 53 games for the Mets last season. Dendecker goes to the Nationals, who needed another outfielder, and Jerry Blevins come back, a left-handed pitcher. So, in one fell swoop, or two fell swoop, in one day, I should say, Sandy Alderson took care of the lefty situation in the bullpen, and all of a sudden, things look a little better. Now, the bullpen still got Familia, and Mejia struggled a little bit in the spring, but, I think you can weather that. I think bullpens evolve over the course of a season. The Mets will have 3 lefties, it looks like, in the bullpen. Blevins, Alex Torres, and Sean Gilmartin, and we'll see how they all blend together and make a fine mix of a bullpen. And as I say, bullpens evolve over the course of a season. There'll be other pieces maybe put in. Montero's out there. Don't forget, Carlos Torres returns and should be fine. Hopefully they'll come around and gel like they did last year, and with the starting pitching. And I think Wilmer Flores can play shortstop. I hate to disagree with Barry, but I think he's done a good job this year. and the Mets have taken into account and have trying to play better defensively, better locations, strategic locations for their defense, and I think he'll be all right in that positioning, and if they position him right, he can make the play, and I think the key is if he hits. Murphy, Murphy could be ready for opening day, or he could be on a DL. We don't really know. I'm not that concerned. I think they have enough depth there with either Muno or Reynolds or Herrera that they don't have to worry about as much. And Tejada's been playing a terrific second base, and what you lose with his offense, you gain with his defense. Much better than Murphy at second. So I'm not really that concerned about that. We'll see how it all plays out as the season goes on, though, however. And there's some other news. The Mets, Sandy Alderson had a busy week here, folks. The Mets and Juan Lagares have agreed to a 4-year contract extension. The team announced it on Twitter. The deal is worth $23 million, includes a team option for 2020 at $9.5 million with a $500,000 buyout. Similarly, Lucas Duda and the Mets are still discussing a possible contract extension, and this could be done. If it's not done by opening day, they want to put it on hold until after the season, and that's a good thing. The important thing is that there's a discussion, and it could be a possibility, and I think it shows that they want to keep this young group together, and they're going to be willing to spend the money to keep the members of this team together, and that's a good sign. And Granderson contract will run up. I doubt if they'll renew that in a couple of years, whenever that runs up. But then they'll have young outfielders coming in. Some of the guys we'll talk about a little later, in Conforto and other guys. So and Nimmo. So they're on the right track, and they're heading in the right direction and doing all the right things. Now, some guys have out of options, and one of them, outfielder Cesar Puello, he was placed on waivers, and it's a move that Adam Rubin of ESPN New York said was expected. Puello, 24, was out of options and unlikely to make the opening day roster. So he must pass through waivers without being claimed by another team before the Mets can send him to AAA Las Vegas, and no word on that as we went to air. But we'll see. If they lose Puello, sometimes you got to take the loss. You got to bite the bullet. He had no options left, and he could be gone. Or, if other teams, he had this suspension for PEDs, so some other teams may be leery about taking him. So we'll see what happens with that. Mets outfield prospect Michael Conforto will skip low single-A Savannah and start the season with single-A St. Lucie, according to ESPN reporter Adam Rubin again. Conforto, 22, was drafted with the team's first-round pick, number 10 overall in 2014, after which he hit .331 with 3 home runs and 19 RBI in 163 at-bats with the Brooklyn Cyclones. He appeared in 5 Grapefruit League games before being demoted this spring, during which he hit .364. He had 4 hits and 3 RBI in 11 at-bats. So he made a nice showing at camp, and I think people were really impressed with him. And I've seen this kid play, and I think he's a good hitter. I think he's a pure hitter, and looking forward to seeing him in the major leagues. Vic Black expects to start the season on the disabled list and miss at least the first 6 games of the season. Not the best of news today. Curtis Granderson got hit by a pitch on his knee. It is sore and swollen, but he seems to believe that he will be ready for opening day. And it's coming fast. All right, let's take a quick break here and be back after these messages.
Are you a fan of the NBA and Major League Baseball? Would you like a sports show dedicated primarily to just that? Plus, we throw in a little fantasy baseball and basketball just for good measure. Featuring credentialed sports journalists, the guys who sit on press row, we bring you the stories that you want to hear. To check us out, please visit us at philnasons.com or on Twitter at FlashTennis31.
This is Frank Conti, the host of Marlins Country Radio on iHeart, a Miami Marlins sports talk show. When I want to know everything that's going on with the New York Mets, all I have to do is tune into the Mets Musings with Gary Mack on BaseballTalkRadio.com. It's the only place for great Mets baseball talk.
You can now hear our show while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. On-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episode is always available for you. No syncing needed and no memory or storage wasted. Available for your iPhone, Android phone, WebOS phone, or your BlackBerry. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. 516-619-6341. That is the voicemail comment hotline. If you'd like to be a part of the show, give us a call and leave a message, or go to the website, MetsMusings.com. Click on the big banner right in the middle of the page. You can't miss it. And you can leave a message right through there. Or if you prefer, send us an email at MetsMusings@gmail.com. Or don't forget, Facebook is facebook.com/groups/Mets Twitter page is MetsMusings1. And don't forget Patreon. If you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, patreon.com/MetsMusings. And at the request of Terry Collins and David Wright, Fred Wilpon addressed the Mets in a closed-door meeting last Friday at Tradition Field. Applause could be heard as a 20-minute meeting broke up inside the team's clubhouse. According to a beat reporter, the message was very positive and about winning, an anonymous player told MLB.com's Anthony DiComo. Anytime you have those types of meetings, you take a lot out of it, and I think everybody in here took a lot out of it, David Wright said, who could not remember the last time Wilpon addressed the team this way. Wright would not share details of what Wilpon said in the meeting. However, an anonymous player said it was the best meeting I've ever been a part of, according to DiComo. So, owners, it looks like they want to spend some money and perhaps do some things with the team, and now they're talking to the team. So, that's a good sign all around, folks. They've been under a lot of fire, this management, and kind of nice to see that they're doing some things maybe to what's the word? Fix up their reputation at this point. It shows that they care if they're taking this time, but people still going to hate them, and that's just the way it is. So, Eric Campbell made his debut as a catcher in a Mets minor league intra-squad game Saturday in Port St. Lucie. Campbell, 27, caught one inning, the first time he's caught on any level. Campbell played first, second, short, third, and left and right field last year. The Mets are grooming him for an emergency catcher role. And the Mets have told reporters that either Dylan G or Rafael Montero will start the game on April 10th. I think it's going to be Dylan G. It's pretty much given that they've named him the fifth starter now. I believe they did that today, or at least hinted heavily towards it. John East will start the next day, Saturday, April 11th. Cologne, Jacob deGrom, and Matt Harvey will start earlier in the week against the Nationals in D.C. The team also recently said DeGrom will start their home opener Monday, April 13th, with Harvey pitching the next day. And a little bit of minor league news. You know, we love the minor leagues. We love the Brooklyn Cyclones here at Mets Musings. And the Cyclones have released info about their Salute to Seinfeld Night 2, Bigger, Better, and Bannier. After drawing a sellout crowd last season, the Cyclones will kick off the Summer of George with their second annual Salute to Seinfeld Night. July 5th will mark the 26th anniversary of the debut of Seinfeld. A Seinfeld night, that night, the Cyclones will be wearing breathtaking jerseys inspired by Kramer's Technicolor Dream Coat from the Wigmaster episode. The jerseys will be raffled off during the game, as well as following the game through the Cyclone online auctions. So it's going to be a crazy night. It was a crazy night last year, and really a terrific promotion that the Cyclones did. Was a big hit. People come dressed as mailmen, and last year they had the soup Nazi guy was there, and this year will be Kenny Bannier, the guy that played Kenny Bannier. I don't have the name in front of me. I apologize for that. Stephen. Oh, I can't. It's skipping me right now, but he'll be there. And you can go enjoy that. And tickets will be going on sale quickly and soon, in probably another few weeks. So be sure to get it. That's going to sell out very fast. Okay, let's take another quick break here and come back and close out this quickie edition of Mets Musings.
Hi, this is the world-famous Mr. Brewtown of BrewtownSports.podomatic.com. You know, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Brewtown Sports. You can also listen to the show at Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com, and iTunes.com. And we've got the new one. It's called BrewtownRadio.weebly.com. But the one that I'm most proud of being on is BaseballPodcast.net. It is the home of great baseball talk shows. Check it out, my show and all kinds of other programs all about Major League Baseball. So check it out. That's baseballpodcast.net, the home for great baseball talk shows.
Looking for great Cardinals talk? Then check out Conversations with C70. My name's Daniel Shoftaw, and I talk with some of the great bloggers on the internet today about their teams, but it always goes back to the Cardinals. Find the latest episode on my website, www.cardinal70.com, or at baseballpodcast.net.
Hey, baseball fans and book fans as well. This is Frank Nappi, author of the Legend of Mickey Tussler series, inviting all of you to learn more about my protagonist, Mickey Tussler, an incredible pitching prodigy who has autism. Follow Mickey's journey as he captures the hearts of fans everywhere with his blazing fastball and indomitable spirit. Please visit Amazon or www.franknappy.com for more information.
The Phillies and Mets rivalry has never been better. Hi, my name is Rich Baxter, and I host Phillies Talk Podcast. I hope you'll join me, along with my co-host, James Jim Mulry, as we talk all about the Phillies all season long. That's Phillies Talk Podcast at fightinphillies.com. And now back to Gary Mack and this great edition of Mets Musings.
516-619-6341 voicemail comment hotline if you'd like to be a part of the show. Or go to the website, MetsMusings.com, click on the big link right in the middle of the page there, and you can leave a voicemail right there. Or you can send us an email, MetsMusings@gmail.com. Let's see, how else? Facebook page, MetsMusings /group. No, wait a second. That's not right. Facebook.com/groups/MetsMusings. The Twitter handle is MetsMusing1. If you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, it's Patreon. Patreon, patreon.com/MetsMusings. And you can help out the show by becoming that patron. So I hope you'll check it out whenever you can. And you heard my good friend Frank Nappy talking about his book, The Legend of Mickey Tussler. Frank is also offering today, I don't know how long, a new Mickey Tussler t-shirt, and all of the money goes towards, it goes through to autism awareness. It's Autism Awareness Day today, so check it out at franknappy.com. I believe that's the link that you can get the great the Mickey Tussler, Legend of Mickey Tussler t-shirt. So go, please, check it out today, franknappy.com. Okay, the Mets are considered the 7th most valuable baseball franchise behind the Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, Giants, Cubs, and Cardinals, according to a recent report from Forbes magazine. Forbes values the Mets at $1.35 billion, with $263 million in revenue and a $25 million operating income. In 2009, prior to opening Citi Field, 6 straight losing seasons, a rebuild, and financial scandals, Forbes listed the Mets as the second most valuable team at $912 million, with roughly the same revenue and operating income. But their value went up. Their place dropped, but their value went up. So all the values must have gone up across baseball. So I don't know what you take from that, but thought it was a little interesting to throw out there. And, folks, I don't know if you heard about Andrew McCutchen cutting off his famous dreadlocks. Well, a Met has joined the bandwagon as well. Henry Mejia has a new look. Yes, he cut his hair, and the picture was out on Twitter. And if you're looking at the video of this, you can see it there. Henry Mejia now has short hair. And that's kind of like when he was a rookie or a younger player, he looked like that. So I think it looks good. Some people are complaining, but I really thought the looked a little tired, a little old, and a little clownish too at times. So I'm glad he went with a nice clean look, and Henry Mejia ready for the season with a new do. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Hope to see you back again next week as we do it again, and we'll have actual games to report on. This is going to be great, and I'm sure lots and lots of other stories as well, and maybe we'll even throw in a guest. I just didn't have time this week. I had some other pressing engagements that had to be taken care of. So once again, to everybody, I'd like to wish a happy Passover and a happy Easter to all of my listeners out there. And we'll see you next week. And opening day is Monday. And remember, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go Mets. 90-72, that's my prediction, the second wild card. You heard it here first. See you next week, everybody.